Good evening and hello. My name is Renee D. Waring, and I am the founder of Uniquely and Wonderfully Made Ministries. Welcome to you all, and a special welcome to the new members of my community. I am glad to be able to meet with you this evening. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Mine was very good. I had a wonderful time. I wish to share a heartwarming true story with you from my childhood. I am thankful for my father, my dad. Oh, I said, my hands are cold, and so was my face. It was cold, windy winter day when I was 4. My heart jumped for joy as I played in the snow, making and throwing snowballs as we walked down the sidewalk. I was with my dad. He held my hand when we crossed the street. He was tall and very strong. I knew he loved me and that he would protect me from any and all danger. I asked him, "Where are we going, Daddy?" He said, "To see the doctor." I further questioned him, "Why are we going to see the doctor?" He said, "The doctor is going to check you out to make sure you are still well." Finally, we arrived at the doctor's office. I ran in to escape the cold. I was so grateful to be in a warm place. Waiting room was full of people. Many people looked sad. Some looked like they were in pain. We had a long wait, a long time, as the nurse called people one by one to see the doctor. Finally, we were called. This was my first visit. The nurse had to guide us in. She had on a white dress which came to her knees. She also had a white cap on her head. "Let's go into this examination room, honey. My name is Miss Taylor," she said. "My name is Mr. Dillard," my dad said, as he followed closely behind us. "Stand on the scale," she said. 35 pounds. She wrote it down in a paper book. "Sit down," she said. Next, the nurse wrapped a piece of cloth around my left arm. The cloth had a tube on it. There was a ball at the end of the tube. As she squeezed the ball, the cloth got tighter and tighter. She looked at it, let all the air out of it. She wrote in her book. Lastly, she picked up a shiny glass tube. "Put this under your tongue," the nurse said. She waited a while, took it out of my mouth, looked at it, and wrote something down in the book. "Wait here, honey. The doctor will be right in to see you," she said as she left the room. "What's in that jar, Daddy?" I asked as I pointed to those. "Those are tongue depressors," she said. "What's that?" I asked. "They are big popsicle sticks that the doctor puts on your tongue and tells you to say ah so he can look down your throat." "Oh," I replied. I pointed to another jar filled with fuzzy white things. "What's that?" I asked. "Those are cotton balls the doctor uses to clean your skin with," he replied. Right after my dad answered that question, a tall man came into the room wearing a white coat. "Hi, Mr. Dillard. Hi, sweetie. What's your name?" "Renee," I replied. "I'm Dr. Watson." He proceeded to go to the jar and pick out a big popsicle stick and put it in my mouth. "Stick out your tongue and say ah," he said. I stuck out my tongue and said ah. Your throat looks good," he said. Dr. Watson looked at my chart and said, "Everything looks good. Your weight, your blood pressure, and your temperature." He then proceeds to get something that looked like a long plastic tube with a big, big needle on the end of it to put into a tiny, tiny jar and filled the tube up with what seemed to me to be water. Next, he reached inside the jar and got a cotton ball and put something on it. He walked over to where I was, wiped me with the wet cotton ball, put the needle next to my left arm. I became terrified. I thought to myself, oh no, is he about to stick me with that big, big needle? Dr. Watson said to me, don't be afraid. All you'll feel is a little stick. I cringed as he stuck me. I yelled and started to cry. It was at the point that I felt anger welling up inside of me. I thought, he hurt me. Dr. Watson put a band-aid on my arm and left. My dad put on my sweater on me. Then I put my coat on. He put the scarf around my neck. I put on my hat and mittens. I was still very angry. My dad took my hand as we walked down the hall. We started to walk past Dr. Watson. I began to feel very bold since I had my strong dad with me. I knew he would defend me. Don't you bother me no more, I said very angrily. The nurse and doctor laughed at me. I thought, that's not funny. Thus ends my presentation. I hope that you found my talk to people interesting. Be interesting. I enjoyed talking with you. My website is uniquely and wonderfully made ministries.com. That's UNIQUELY and wonderfully made ministries.com. On the second and fourth Thursdays, I publish blogs. On the second and fourth Fridays, I publish videos. You're invited to view them both. My email address is Emerson Mary, I as in ice, the word recovery, RECOVERY 74 at gmail.com. I repeat, M as in Mary, I as in ice, RECOVERY 74 at gmail.com. One more time. M as in Mary, I as in ice, the word recovery, RECOVERY 74 at gmail.com. Please send me your questions, concerns, and prayer requests. Invite me to come to speak with your group about a hot topic on the subject of mental illness. Merry Christmas to you all! We are living in stressful and uncertain times. Inflation is a big problem this year. Another big problem is having in this country is a log jam of items in our ports. Many people may not receive their gifts in time for Christmas. These are huge problems to overcome this season. The question becomes, what gift can I give someone that is worthwhile, valuable, low cost, and will arrive to them before Christmas Day? My book entitled The Warring, WARRING, second edition is worthwhile and valuable because in it you will gain a greater understanding about the challenges of mental illness. Many people do not understand that mental illness is and how it affects people who have it, and lastly, how it affects people surrounding the person. So many don't understand because they believe portrayed stereotypes. If you are a family member or caregiver of someone with such an illness, my book will give you resources where you can get support. There are also resources listed to help a child, youth, adult, or senior citizen who has mental illness, a drug addiction, or a co-occurring condition to find treatment. The suicide epidemic is totally out of control these days, especially during this COVID pandemic. Find out how you can save a life by knowing what the warning signs of someone who is seriously considering committing suicide. When you know the warning signs, you can get help for the person before they end their life. My book is a low cost of $8.95 plus tax. Lastly, I guarantee that if you order your book at least a few days before Christmas, it will arrive at the person's house because you will be purchasing it from Amazon.com in the United States. I am the founder of Uniquely and Wonderfully Made Ministries. My name is Renee D. Waring, and I am the Warrior Warring. I'm signing off.